Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
You know we're liars, right?
We are.
We are, because last show we said that you were already going to be gone.
Right. So,
and I decided to drive all the way across the country right now to come to do a live show with you.
Well, I know, but then you drove to the wrong. You drove to the wrong place. You thought I was moving to Vermont?
No.
Why would you drive all the way to Vermont?
I thought you were moving to Bangkok.
Oh, well, no, that was what I was telling you my hobbies were.
Oh, see, I was getting the conversation mixed up. I think it was just because...
Well, you were drinking.
I was doing more than that.
Yeah, that's true. No, yes, we are 100% liars, though, but I am a Californian for about another 48 hours. And speaking of, another appropriate song you had as the lead-in, you played the that clip from I forget which Pee Wee Herman movie it was, where he goes to the Alamo and the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
That's in the first one, actually.
It's in the first one?
Yeah, because the second one's about a circus.
Because that's where he keeps his bike in the. They say your bike's being held in the basement.
Yeah,
and he goes, there's no basement of the Alamo.
Yeah, and that's when the bike has like jets and stuff. And then when he goes back at the very end, he plays the bellhop at the hotel, and he's like, his voice is super deep.
Hello,
Herman. Paging Mr. Herman. I love that movie.
You know what? Do you think if bicycles looked like Pee Wee Herman's bicycles, more people would be riding bicycles?
No, I think less people would be riding bicycles,
really?
to be honest with you.
I think that thing looks awesome.
Why is this squirrel trying to come after my nuts?
Salty.
Oh, by the way, this is We Should Be Better at This.
Yes.
My name is Chris. That's Eric, and that's a squirrel about coming over here and trying to...
Now, let me ask you a question. If the squirrel is heard on this podcast, do they get paid scale?
No. They only get half the day.
Okay.
Because look at that thing. It's tiny.
Yeah.
What is this? Like, it's literally crawling up onto us right now. I would videotape it, but I am petrified for my life. Is that Chip, Dale, or Douchebag?
All you have to do is snap your fingers and it runs away or whatever. There you go.
Okay, sorry.
I saved your life.
From Up.
I saved your life. Squirrel. So we are California residents for another 48 hours, and I honestly, even though we're going to be sad to leave some of the stuff, I couldn't get out of here quick enough.
Well, I signaled some rapid fire questions for you before we get the show going. So the first question is, how long are you going to stop? How long before you stop claiming that you're from California in Texas?
Good question, because they do kind of not like California.
Everybody that's not in California doesn't like Californians. I'll just be honest with you.
And wait a minute, and it's even worse because we're from LA.
I know. Oh yeah.
So that's like double.
You're not even in LA. You're Whittier.
If it was
Whittier.
Yeah. Well, that's why you just say LA, because I'm like 15 miles from downtown
and
LA.
They're like, oh, I hate the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. I hate the Dodgers too. But because if you said you were from like San Diego, like no one hates San Diego,
no, they're
right?
Like, oh, I love San Diego.
Ooh, San Diego. I wish I could live there. Or why would you leave there?
Yeah. No. What's the first thing they say? Oh, you're from LA. Cool. You speak Spanish?
Yeah. I would say Paquito.
I'm like a married one.
Yeah, so that's a good question. I say we're from California until we've made all our introductions to people.
Okay.
And then after that, when they say, where are you from? We say, oh, right here in Texas.
Okay. You've never been anywhere but here your entire existence. You were moving to a new place where you can reinvent yourself in certain ways. You're a little old and broken in a lot of places, but you can't go out and play a sport.
Yes, broken emotionally, physically, mentally. A log list.
Mentally a lot. What have you... What have you? Because I know you've thought about this. You're just like me. What are the few things you're going to change or do differently around people that don't know you from the beginning?
Well, I'm just going to get better at everything that I was never able to get better at. But not in reality. Like I'm not actually going to get better. I'm going to get better in how I describe it.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I've surfed my whole life, but I'm a very, very average surfer.
Yeah.
Well, I go over there, I'm freaking Kelly Slater.
Oh, yeah, you're like
I'm
like, my whole life.
Oh, yeah, I've been sponsored. I had to move because my sponsorships, they started to dry. Bill Billabong and Quicksilver. They're not the brands that they used to be.
Then they're going to look at you and be like, wait, your leg hurt? And okay, well, that makes sense. You
from
got hurt in an
surfing.
accident.
They were all
accident.
surfing-based injuries. Also, both you and I have done some extra work, movie work, TV work, game show work. No. I was an actual star.
Oh, you were a star?
I was an actual
what
star.
What kind of movies were you in?
Mainly action movies, which is why you don't know my name, because I was always in some sort of makeup or it was a CGI'd kind of a thing.
You were like Brad Pitt was in that movie about Hollywood. You like a stunt guy?
Yeah. I'm a Cliff Booth.
Cliff Booth,
stunt guy.
That sounds like a good name.
Yeah.
What was your name?
That's how I hurt my leg.
What was your name?
My name was Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Yes,
I like that.
It's like my wrestling name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Do I know any
I
of
was
the movies you're in.
Well, see, here's the thing: because it was always in makeup. Little did you know, I'm the raccoon from the Galaxy, whatever.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
I didn't know that. That's good for you.
we just call that. We call it a GOG. That's what we call it, us actors in Guardians of the Galaxy. We don't really say the full name.
Right,
I mean,
I don't know.
come on, you're not a big star like I am, so you don't understand. I'm going to say I did a lot of regional work because that always works, right? Like, what did you do? Oh, a lot of regional work.
Yeah, when I moved down here, my wife was like, you know who ODM is? He's lighter shade of brown. I'm like, no. Well, he works at a radio station. Cool. What's he do? Oh, it was a band, 80s, upcoming, Latina rappers.
Yeah.
Latino rappers. I'm like, oh, yeah, never heard of them.
Yeah.
They must be regional.
Yeah. So the regional thing plays because I'm literally leaving a region.
Yeah, you
so
are.
I was a regional actor.
And entering a republic.
And here's the other. I'm entering a republic. Here's the other thing you could say. You could always say you did a lot of theater work because no one will ever check
that. Nobody will ever know.
Yeah. Now, if you said, "Oh yeah, I was in 27 episodes of Green Arrow on the CW," they're gonna look on IMDb and try and look you up. But if you say, "Oh, I've been an actor. I mainly done stage, and dang it, I never got a chance to really get too much into movies before I left, and I wish I would have had a chance."
Just did some
But I was an accomplished stage actor, Pantages Theater. I was in The Lion King. I was Rafifi.
You were Rafifi.
Yeah.
I hope that was his name.
I don't know. That could be a name. That could not be a name. But are they going to check it?
Yeah,
No.
well, they'll know that.
Well,
they've only made 300 versions of The Lion King.
So
if you're going to lie about a good character.
Yeah, so that's well, no, but see, if you say a big character, that's too obvious. It has to be a background character.
No, you could be like Shenzi.
You know the baboon that holds up the
Rafiki.
Yeah, that is Rafiki. Okay, well, look, I had that right.
No, you didn't have it right.
Rafifi. No, Rafifi was his brother. You don't know it in the movie, but Rafifi was Rafiki's brother, who appears more in the stage
They're
version.
twins.
Yes.
Oh, I see. It's like that Full House show with the little anorexic ones.
Wow. Yes, it's just like that.
Okay.
In every sense, even we're the same writers. So yeah, I'm definitely going to say I was a much better surfer than I was, more important actor than I was, and I think my celebrity encounters are going to go up by 50%.
Oh my God, we're gonna have more Nick Cage to talk about.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait. Okay, so next question: are you going to brag about In-N-Out?
No, because I actually think In-N-Out. I've traveled a lot, and I know you have too. I've eaten a lot of regional cuisines.
Yeah. Like White Castle.
Like White Castle and all that stuff.
Burger,
I have to say that I'm not In-N-Out's fine. I think there are better things than In-N-Out, so I don't need to brag about it. And you know what? It was different when In-N-Out was regional. Now you find In-N-Out everywhere. You go to every state. Every state has an In-N-Out.
Yeah,
like
some
they
sort
have
of novelty.
When it only used to be in Southern California, I think you could brag about it. Now you can't really brag about it.
Makes sense. It makes sense. All right. In California surfing. Who are you going to lie about knowing?
Oh, okay. I thought about this.
Okay. See,
so
I told you.
Yeah, I thought about this. So what it is I think what you want to do is you want to talk about someone that you lived near. And when you say live near, it's like, oh, I lived on the same street as. Well, I can't say a great big star because then they're like, okay, what were you living in Bel Air? Why would you ever move here?
Okay.
It has to be.
You're homeless. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're on the same street.
Exactly. It has to be a star that is big enough that they would know the name, but small enough that you would never picture them living in like some huge star. And I think I was trying to think of it. I was thinking of like someone like Michelle Rodriguez. Right?
Yes,
You can imagine her having a pretty nice house, but I don't exactly picture her living in Beverly Hills.
No. I agree with that.
So it's got to be someone like that. It's got to be some mid-level star. We were a big fan of the star of the show Psych. which is one of our favorite shows on USA Network. It stopped airing years ago, but it's always one of our favorites.
Are you going to say
No,
again?
no, seriously. So the two actors from that, James Roday and Dule Hill.
Oh, they sound like they're big actors.
Right. But they're it's enough to where you could be like, we live next door to them, and we helped write some episodes.
Okay, when you want to scare people, you'd be like, nah, I live next door to what was his name?
Robert Blake.
Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, no, he was my neighbor, and then Crystal Leah lived across the street.
Yeah,
he was there, and then what was that one guy's name? Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby. He was my good friend.
And when they were so nice that when I would go out of town on business, they would volunteer to hang out with my wife, and they would invite her to parties and stuff. And my wife, now listen, I asked her how those parties were, Hollywood parties, and she said she doesn't really remember much.
But she had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she walks different.
She does, and she said that she just remembers enjoying the first drink or two, and then after that, just waking up back in her bed with me. And so I don't understand how that worked, but she said she had a great time.
Well, that's weird. Was Cosby?
Why was the DA calling, asking her to testify? Do you know anything about that?
God, I don't know. Was she a witness to a murder?
No.
She didn't murder anyone?
No, she did not. Well, it's L.A. You're allowed one murder a year anyhow.
No, not a year. One murder ever.
Oh,
like one murder, period.
Oh, you didn't upgrade to the premium plan?
No, I didn't get the premium plan.
No. So you, as an L.A. resident, if you upgrade to the premium plan, you get to murder one person a year.
See, I've only been here for about 12 years now, and you're only allowed one for your life.
You know why? It's because I was okay. So you know how Disneyland has the local price passport and then the regular one.
Yeah,
so the Southern California resident passport of Killings is you actually, if you're born here, you actually get it every year.
See, I didn't know that.
But it's not a little known fact, everybody out there, in case you're planning on doing it. It's not on January 1st. It actually starts on your birth date is the start of that count.
Funny. Well, I was born in Arizona, technically Phoenix. First thing they gave me was a gun and the right to shoot anyone I want.
Right, and you're also allowed to punch a horse.
Oh yeah,
that is a thing.
Yeah, I'm not dumb.
We all know that first thing a horse will do is take you out.
Yeah,
so
unless you punch its face.
Yeah, you
have
to take it out.
The person behind you or behind the horse.
Yes, and then you're not responsible because the horse did it.
Nope.
Yeah.
You just punched the horse.
Yes.
The horse should have had a better temper.
It was that damn horse's fault.
Stupid.
So I might have to come up with some better actors or actresses, but I do think saying some mid-level actor or actress that's like pretty cool but not big enough to live in some high-end area would be believable.
Yeah, I think you could pull like a Jessica Alba because most people don't know she has
she had her meteoric rise and then now she's like back down.
Yeah, she sold her business. She's just being, she bought a
She's doing the mom thing.
House.
She's doing the mom thing.
And I did the mom thing.
Yeah, her kids and my kids would hang out, and let me tell you, when she would invite us over for pool dates,
oh man,
Jessica Alba in a bathing suit still has it.
Remember that show she was on, Dark Angel?
Oh, good
that
Lord.
tan.
Wow, that was a great tan.
But
yeah, something like that is what I'm going to go with, or something just totally random, like remember
Screech.
like something
Screech?
exactly something that no one ever. Hey, do you remember Vicky the Robot? The girl, the actress.
Jetson.
No, from what's the one where the little boy had the robot and it was the dad made the
AI.
Son of a, no. It's a show from the 80s and 90s.
The TV show.
Yeah, the TV show.
Yeah, it was my friend. Anyway,
whatever. Anyways, I know. Remember her name was Vicky, but I'm gonna say, Vicky the Robot from that show. I live next door to her, and the oddest thing is, you get enough drinks in her. She drinks a little too much peppermint schnapps in the holidays during the block party that we would have. She would actually start acting like a robot and doing it, and it was really odd how she would just go right back into character. She had a hard life after that.
Small wonder.
It's a small wonder.
I think it'd be better if you did something along the lines of...
Screech is good, though. Because then you could tell wild stories.
Yeah,
but then you could be like, oh, man, that guy was every 3 weeks, the cops were there. You could make up all the great stories.
I'd be like, I live next to Antonio Banderas. Yeah.
And he would always talk like this to my wife.
And that's how
my name is Antonio Banderas. You are a beautiful woman.
But the stories he told about pranking the kids on the Spy Kids...
yes.
He's like, man, one time he filled their room with dildos when they walked in. It was so crazy. These 5-year-old kids walked in.
He was so inappropriate. But yeah,
Antonio Banderas couldn't keep his dick.
See, Antonio Banderas is too big of a star, though. But see, that's why I'm thinking. I think I do a mid-level star that's current, and then some like far faded star that like no one would ever check up on. Like, remember Vicky from Small Wonder?
Hold on.
Okay, so now everyone knows Zach Morris from
Alf.
Saved by the Bell.
Say you live next to Alf.
The guy who did the voice for Alf. No, you say because let's see, AC Slater and Zach Morris are too famous.
Yep.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen's too famous. What was the girl? Lars Voorhees. She was the one that Screech always had the hots for.
The black one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that.
I can't say that.
Yeah, you can.
No.
She was the only one on the show.
BLM will come get me.
No, they won't. It was fine. It's just an easy way to say so people understand who you're talking about. So,
I still feels wrong.
I know. Well, why?
Well, you said it. So the one that he said, the person that he said is, you say Lars Voorhees.
It's Laura, right? Was Laura her character?
No. Lisa.
Lisa. Yeah, Lisa.
No, Lisa was Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
I didn't watch the show until after it was like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after
well, anyways,
it was done.
you do something like that. I think something like that would be like some star from a '90s sitcom who's obviously faded and isn't quite big.
Yeah, or just pick any character from any Shonda Rhimes show, like Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Because they're just like an evening soap opera. If you didn't like, you don't know who they are. Like, oh yeah, I live next to Meredith Grey. And
you should
Sandra
look her up.
Oh.
She has a decent amount of screen credits.
Sandra Oh, she's got a cool show on Amazon. Check it out.
We always had this running joke. I'd walk by her house and I'd say, "Hey Sandra, show me your O face," and she would just stare at me blankly, and we would have a laugh.
Yeah, and I'd show her mine. I showed her mine before.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, that's definitely something that I would that I'm going to do because it makes it so easy.
Yeah, you definitely have an opportunity to not give a crap about some things and give a crap about more things and make people know that, like when I moved to California, I didn't care. I was having fun. I'm going to meet people. They're going to see they're going to say hi.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to just, no backstory.
What about this one as someone I lived like across the street from? Make up a completely fake regional morning show radio program. Like, man, I lived right across the street from Frankie and the Fizz on 95.7, The Wiz. It was just this classic rock station, and they had this morning show. Oddly enough, the two lived together, and they would do the show from their house. So sometimes they would open their garage, and we would stand there and we would watch the morning show, listened to by over 14 million people in this regional area alone.
Yeah, that would work. You're pretty close. My wife is broadcasting out of our house every morning.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, literally, that's how it's going kind of right now.
You haven't heard? I'm actually friends with this huge starlet, if you will. She's a hot thing on the scene. Her name's Evelyn Arribas. She's probably the hottest morning radio DJ. She's on
in the Inland Empire.
Empire. Notice how it has the word Empire, just like the TV show Empire. The TV show is based off of her life.
Yeah.
In the Inland Empire.
She's actually Cookie.
She's Cookie. Yes.
You're
married to.
Oh, wow. He's in that show, right?
Yeah.
No, he's in Atlanta.
He's not.
Damn it.
Atlanta's
so good, though.
I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but I really enjoyed them, and I just never rewatched them.
Man, Childish Gambino or Donald Glover, he is so.
That guy's so talented. He really is. Did you know?
Sorry, messed up. Young Lando is
young
amazing.
Lando. Oh my gosh.
All right, so what do we got? What are we going to talk about before you leave?
Hey, you know what? I've been waiting.
Me.
I've been waiting for months and months and months for sports ever since this died down or this flared up. This condition I have called herpes, and then also there's this coronavirus thing. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, no, I've heard about it.
But when those two things flared up, I've been waiting for baseball to come back, and
your balls are back.
They've had 90 days to figure it out and get it structured, and it seems like they've done all their arguing over the past week.
That's pretty much how I handle my shit. When's the deadline? Cool. I'll talk to you the day before.
But they could have had it all structured and everyone ready to go and a plan. It almost seemed like they didn't even have a plan in place. They were still formulating. It's like, what were you guys doing for 3 months?
My thought is there's probably some people that were sick from in the top of the chain.
Yeah.
So they probably went and tested everyone or something. I don't know.
What do you think of the rings that they're going to give basketball players that they say will monitor and can early detect coronavirus? And what I want to know is how come they're not mailing out one of those rings to everyone in the United States?
I didn't hear about the rings. Can you?
So it looks like a wedding ring. It's like a silver contraption that goes over your finger, and it looks just like a ring. And apparently, it can monitor things and give you an early warning sign that you might be contracting the coronavirus. And they're going to give it to all the NBA players to wear, so that they can, if they start to show any of those signs from that ring that they're going to wear, that they would they'd be able to quarantine.
Well, that's crazy. How does that pick temperature or something?
It probably picks up your temperature, maybe your pulse rate. It could tell if you are starting to get a fever. I think it's just one of those things where if it would give you an early warning indicator, hey, you might want to get checked out. Yeah. But I want to
work for your herpes too.
No, see, they still have not. I think we really need to put the money where it's more importantly needed, and that's on herpes research. Yeah, on my balls. Put your money on my balls.
Oh, I had one more question before you move forward. Okay. Are you going to run for office in Texas?
I am, but after I've been there for a couple of years, because I don't want my opponent to say, this is just some guy from California coming here to tell us what's what.
Well, at least I know I could take that drop that you just recorded right now and play that during your campaign to help you.
Here's my impression of everyone from Texas. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, NASCAR.
Friday Night Lights. Okay, keep going. Okay, MLB.
Okay, so
this squirrel has balls, dude.
So the MLB, no, he has nuts. So the MLB's essentially has agreed on 60 games.
Okay.
But they're going to play 60 games in 66 days. They will allow 30 people on a team, and three people in what they're calling their taxi squad, which is where they would only play if someone got sick and couldn't play, and they could step in. So they travel with the team, but they're not officially on the roster.
So if somebody gets COVID or gets some sort of sickness,
they can step right in.
They're going to be like, okay, we're taking you got to, no matter what, you got to go away, and we got this guy.
Yeah, we got this guy. They are going to have the designated hitter in the National League.
I heard that,
which I'm in favor of because who wants to watch a pitcher bat?
But why is that?
Because I think watching the pitcher bat's the most boring thing in baseball.
No, but I know, but why? That's the only thing. That's the only
I think it's to help also speed up the game, and I think it was just an agreement that was reached as part of it.
It's adding another person.
But here's here's what I want to know: how will they test? So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're the Angels. Yeah, there you go. Just a big baseball bat.
Louisville Slugger.
Ton
right
of
in your
Louisville.
fucking nose.
Just and I was gonna say if they're nice, they'll use the small end of the bat. So let me give you a scenario. Let's say the Angels are playing the Arizona Diamondbacks, and Mike Trout tests.
I know that guy.
Might possibly test positive. So obviously he has to miss that game. Well, how long does he miss before he is allowed back? A. B. Where do they quarantine him there in Arizona? So now, if you're a baseball player and you've agreed to do this, you might be like, oh, we might have to all be quarantined away from family for like 3 or 4 months, or no, 3 or 4 weeks in another state in like some hotel room. Like that doesn't seem to benefit the players very much. And then you got managers. Think about the managers. Are the managers 35 years old? No, they're all 72 years old. They're the highest risk for the COVID thing. They're even now saying that it's an automatic ejection if a manager comes on the field to argue a call and gets within 6 feet of an umpire.
Wow, that's going to be fun. But I actually listened to a podcast earlier today, and I think they made a valid point of how the player manager would be a great thing to bring back. Just like if you're one of the most
you're the veteran on the team. If you're Albert Pujols and it's like, listen, you're barely playing anyways.
You
could be the player manager, and that allows you to be on the field and make the in the dugout decisions.
And how many times did you play on a team because we weren't as good to play organized to a high level?
You forgot. Now that I'm moving to Texas, I made it to AA. I washed out because of my bad knees.
Yeah,
it works.
You played for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
There it is. And there, once again. I'm telling you, I'm going to be greater than I ever was.
And this whole podcast is going to debunk your whole campaign in 5 years when you run for office.
Please erase this. Is there any way to? Hey, those podcasts don't last forever, do they?
Yeah.
They do. Oh, okay.
That's the one thing you're not going to promote. The one thing you actually. I've been doing a podcast for like 2.5 years with this guy. It sucks, but no. I was on Saved by the Bell once.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
No, but if they brought the player manager back, to be so cool. But how many times have you on a team where you're like, well, hey, do you want to pinch hit? Like talking to the player, not saying go pinch hit, going, hey,
how do you feel about it?
How about you go do this right now or go pinch run for him?
Do you think, though, that could lead to potential problems and infighting where if it's a player coach, the player is going to start doing favor for his other veteran players, ignoring that? You know what I mean? Like kind of...
I think the team's got to police it. I think the team would have to police it,
policing.
But also there would be a disconnect from upstairs to downstairs, which they don't like that. That's why they put an old guy down there,
right? Because they want to be able to control him.
Yep.
But anyway, so
great if they did.
And the other thing is they're going to try and do it mostly without fans, which I don't know how that. I mean, baseball's a sport where you need the fans there. But listen, at the end of the day, I just want to have baseball back. But okay, so let's flash forward a little bit. Let's say the season actually. Oh, I got 2 things.
Okay.
Number 1. What do you do if, so it's only a 60-game season. What do you do if you've played 30 games and there's a second wave of the virus and you cancel the whole season, which means all these stats mean nothing, all these games meant nothing, and it's wiped from history?
I say you take all the teams at that point, wait until it finally clears up, and do something like 5 months down the road and do like a round-robin tournament like they do for school.
But you can't, because think about it. By the time they'd be coming back, it would be the time for spring training of next season. You would almost just have to say season's over. Ooh, I like that.
With that record.
You start with that record, and then you just play 100 games.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
cool.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, let's say you get to play the season. Let's say by all miracles and miracles happen, you get to play the season. It all works out okay.
Okay.
The the team that wins the championship this year is never going to be looked on as an honest winner of the championship. It's going to be you won that little fluky season where we just played a few games.
Yep.
The schedules were all tweaked. We made up all kinds of weird rules for 1 year only. It's going to be like, yes, the Mets finally came through and actually won a World Series, and then we're like, nah, you didn't. You guys you had a little play fun.
There's not even one asterisk. There's like 7. It just says COVID behind it, and it's like, I didn't count.
Yeah, it's not going to count. The other,
True.
that was MLB. The other one that has kind of proposed different rules that I think is interesting is the Oscars. So think about it, because there's been no movies coming out. They're having to. So now think about it. If you win the award for Best Picture,
you only had to compete against.
So you were
10
competing
movies.
against. Like, they're going to nominate 10 movies, and it was the only 10 movies that were released this year.
Black Widow's going to win Best Picture.
Yeah.
The first Marvel movie to do it because nobody. Because
there's nothing else. Or
not that I don't think it's going to be a great movie. Just
some
Marvel's never gonna win
some
Best
movie
Picture.
that was released, like some independent movie that made like $20,000 in the theaters, is going to get nominated as the number 10th pick for Best Picture.
Watch.
Hey, can you imagine? It's like someone's independent film. They're like, "Holy crap, dude, we just got nominated."
Jay and Silent Bob Road Trip or whatever the hell it came out. He's going to re-release into a couple theaters in like December and qualify.
Oh my gosh! And then speaking of big launches and big shows, actually, my daughter. I don't know how your kids are, but my kids are so pumped about Hamilton coming out next week on Disney Plus.
What's Hamilton?
Alexander Hamilton. By the way, actually, you know what I want you to do right now? I want you to play the Weird Al version of it's called Hamilton Polka. Play some of that.
How does a bastard orphan son of a whore and a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence and Pulveris and Waller grow up to be a hero and a scholar? The $10 founding father without a father got a lot.
So that was Weird Al's take on the songs from Hamilton.
Okay, but still,
It's a Broadway play.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Who's Hamilton?
it doesn't have
Hamilton
Marvel
some guy?
or any Star Wars based characters in it, so I know it's tough for you to understand.
Hamilton's not a superhero?
No, it's not on Sons of Anarchy. It's not a Discovery Channel show. No one on there.
Who's this Hamilton guy? I know he's the guy that makes those appliances. Hamilton Beach.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Hamilton Beach. It's a story of Hamilton, and the other guy, Total Beach.
Yeah. Well, he must have surfed and moved to Texas.
Yes, he did. He was a great surfer. I don't know if you heard. He was sponsored and everything.
Billabong.
So Hamilton on Disney Plus, very exciting. And if you see some of the clips, the way they filmed it looks really cool. And honestly, I think it's going to be pretty great to finally be able to see it since I've not been able to afford tickets.
Yeah, and I do think, and this is. Well, obviously they had to have filmed this prior to COVID.
It's the original cast.
Yeah. Do you think they filmed it when they were on back in the day, or do you think they had the original cast come in and film something?
No. So from what I understand, they actually filmed this mid last year.
Yeah,
so it's been sitting on the shelf
after Lin-Manuel stepped away from the stage.
Yes.
Okay. So that makes sense because he was the lead in it.
Right.
Which is Hamilton's his name? Hamilton Beach.
Hamilton Beach.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'm excited. I haven't seen the stage show. I know the music. My girls love it just
All
as
the
much
time.
as yours. But I didn't realize it was just going to be like a showing of the play. I thought they were going to incorporate it into.
No, but you know what? The way they filmed it,
something.
but I think that people want to see how the play was because so many
I
people
totally
didn't get a chance to see
but
it.
you know how it is. Like
Yeah.
it's like seeing cats on a TV or whatever. It's like, wasn't that good on stage?
It's not the same
TV?
thing.
But I can't wait to see it. I'm excited.
Okay, so a couple other things before we wrap up today's show. I had one that was from. Do you remember the presidential candidate Andrew Yang?
I can't say
I know
I
it's
do.
tough to. I know
Did you
it's
live
tough to
next
pick.
door to him?
Yeah, I did. He was a great guy. He would party across the street with the guy Eric Estrada from Chips.
Eric Estrada.
Yes. And remember the blonde guy from Chips?
Oh.
That would be a perfect one to pick because no one remembers him.
Oh, he was.
Everyone knows Eric Estrada, but no one knows him. And I
But
could
then
say I could live next to him.
But then that goes directly to go. Isn't that the same blonde guy from Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I'd have to be prepped ahead of time.
You're like, no, that was Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, exactly. The remake. So Andrew Yang was a presidential candidate. He was a Democratic presidential candidate. You might remember him as one of the only ones that wasn't batshit crazy.
Well, I mean, okay.
He actually seems like a pretty normal, reasonable guy, which is why he was kicked out almost immediately.
That's why he didn't win.
Yeah, both in the Republican and Democratic Party, he was one of the ones that actually was sane, and so he was kicked out almost immediately. Anyways, he has come out with a relatively, I think, unique proposal.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask your thoughts on it. So basically, we live in a day and age where your data gets stolen, right?
Yes.
Whether you want it to or not.
Okay.
There's a reason we've talked about in the past where we could mention something, and then you go on later onto your Instagram feed, and something has shown up.
It shows up.
Guess how it got there?
Yeah,
Okay, it's been
your
stolen.
phone's listening.
There's also rumors of or stories of fathers who are going online looking at Amazon. It starts recommending them baby supplies, and they're like, I don't need baby supplies. And then a week later, they find out their daughter's pregnant.
Yeah.
Like things like that, where everything's getting stolen. So Andrew Yang says, here's how you fix paying people who are either A, unemployed, or just B, having what you would call a universal basic income.
Yeah.
Because the problem with universal basic income is I don't want to have to pay my tax dollars to pay someone to sit at home. That seems shitty.
Exactly.
So his idea was, every time that your data gets used, you have to get paid for it, and that counts as your universal basic income. So, for instance, Google wants all of your information. Well, guess what? They need to pay you, $4,000 a year for your information. Your information out on the web has value, and what he proposed was that's how we get everyone a base level income. Is all of these tech companies that are selling your data, since it's your data and you have the right to it, that they need to compensate you up to a certain amount. So it could be, and he even said there'll be different levels. If you're Joe Blow on the street, your data is worth only a little bit. Maybe if you're someone in an important company, your data is worth a little bit more, so you get paid a little bit more.
Maybe you're a celebrity that has a little more influence.
Right.
You're an influencer.
Exactly.
So maybe that makes sense, because that would be like somebody that wrote a song or has a movie out that created something. It's like you're creating this data.
Right.
You're doing.
You should be compensated.
On accident.
Right.
So it shouldn't be paid as much. But yeah, I agree with that. I'm actually down. Let's do that. Basic universal.
Yeah. So
money for
a
universal
basic income doesn't work just because of all the other problems. But man, if you were able to generate that from Google or Yahoo or Ask Jeeves, I'm going to continuing to name defunct sites, Netscape. If you were getting your money from Lycos. Oh, see, I went way back there. If AOL is still selling your chat room data. But if you think about it, wouldn't that be a great way to at least generate some money for some people? Especially, imagine if you're a single mom, you're just trying to make ends meet. God, how much would an extra, I don't know, $800 a month really, really help you out.
That'd be
and
great.
If you're selling the thing anyways, you're basically saying you're going to use it anyways. You got to pay me for it.
Yeah, and then if you have more people in your house, and you get paid more, because the more people using the internet, it's more data.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. So, anyways, that was his story. I just thought that was interesting,
that is
and
cool. I like that.
I think I'd be in favor of that. And I think now it's time to end our show. Let's do one last live SMRT.
I am too smart. I am too smart. SMRT. I mean SMART.
I am so smart. I am so smart.
The drop is way better than your version.
It's so overmodulated.
Okay. So this is from the Detroit Free Press. This is their newspaper up in Detroit.
It's free.
It's free, and it's pressed.
I bet they actually charge for it.
I know, bastards, liars. Okay, so there's all kinds of people doing crazy things with coronavirus, and the COVIDiots. That's a good one. The public library is no different. The Detroit Library, first of all, is encouraging people to learn how to read.
I thought they closed all those along with the Ford plans.
It says, here's from the article in the Detroit Free Press, people are getting creative when it comes to staying safe from COVID-19 and has prompted the Michigan Library to issue a public warning. Please stop microwaving your books.
What?
It says burned books are being returned all over Detroit area libraries after being damaged in microwaves. Do not microwave anything, library officials say. Apparently, people think that if they microwave the books when they get them, it will kill the COVID virus so that they can read the books carefully. They're also microwaving them as a courtesy before they return it to kill. So they're opening these books and finding burnt pages. Right?
Be kind. Please rewind.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
The book.
All right. They're burnt microwave. Let's save Dave. Microwave.
Read a book. Please don't cook.
No need to wave. It's just as safe.
Yeah, in the microwave.
Oh, wow, that didn't work well.
That didn't work either. So books are being singed and have burnt pages because people think, oh, and by the way, here's what I like. My favorite part of the story is that, okay, you get the book from the library, you bring it home, you microwave it because you think it kills COVID. Okay, fine. Fine. I just like the people who are so courteous. They're like, you know what? I've used this book. I'm ready to return it. I'm going to microwave it for the next guy.
Yeah, I'm going to just take care of it.
In their mind, if they drop off the books, they're thinking to themselves, I just did a good thing. See, I just did a good thing. People, I'm out there killing the virus.
And that's the same thing Hitler was doing back in the day, but they just threw them on a big pile and burned them.
Right. Well, they didn't have microwave technology. I think is what it was.
They didn't.
If they had microwave technology, they would have cooked.
Captain America was made and stuff, but
right, and that saved the day.
Readily available.
The Tesseract and the whole story.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, microwaves was the reason the Egyptian culture went down. Like the pyramids were only left because microwaves didn't destroy them.
Right. I got a question about microwaves.
Okay.
You're standing right there.
Micro.
Why do they need to beep so loudly? You ever wonder that? Why isn't it like? Listen, okay, I'm gonna do an impression of a microwave. Right, you're standing 6 inches from it and pushing a button. Push a button.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God!
Okay, that
was only 2 minutes worth.
That was just you adding.
Jesus Christ!
That was heating
it's
up your.
staring right at me. That squirrel is fucking nuts.
That is a ballsy squirrel.
Did you see it staring at us?
It was
like
staring
it was about to eat our brains?
He didn't like that sound I made. See, he doesn't like microwaves either.
Up there was like, "What did you say, bitch?"
Yeah, I don't understand, why do microwaves have to be so loud when they beep? There's no such thing as a soft, gentle microwave. It's like, yeah, I'm right here, dude. You don't need to like.
You want to know why? My guess is probably because when this technology came out, everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is so amazing! We can cook our food, frozen, and it's out, and it's scrumptious."
No, it's not scrumptious, by the way.
Technology.
Nothing is ever good out of a microwave, like hardly ever.
It's scientific tech. We have to beep and do cool shit.
Yeah.
Now our refrigerators have screens on them.
Yeah. We're shopping for refrigerators right now, and it's like, this refrigerator, sir, you really should pay extra. This refrigerator has Wi-Fi technology. It's like, well, what is it going to order the milk when it's out for me? Like, I don't.
It does. It's supposed to. You like, it's got pressure plates. It's so fucking stupid.
It's like, guys, I have the ability to do this, but you don't need to.
I don't even go to the store anymore. Do you go to the store anymore?
No. What's a store?
Yeah, we Instacart. We
you know what's funny? I don't think my kids have ever been in a bank.
Do they know what banks are?
That's what I'm saying. Oh. Well, they understand the concept. That's where the bunnies goes. But
it's in that building.
It's in that building over there. But like, I kind of want to just take my kids to a bank. Go, kids. Once upon a time, we had to come here to access money and turn in paper that were called checks.
Yeah.
That was where our money came from.
And they didn't stand behind bulletproof glass back then.
No, you were actually able to lean across and smack the teller if they didn't do what you wanted to,
and make a run on the bank.
Yeah. Nowadays there's 6 inches. But by the way, now there's 6 inches of bulletproof glass, and they talk to you through a hole, and they say it's for your convenience.
Toppins the bag.
All right, everybody. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. I know Chris needs to get on the road to go do Chris-type things.
Oh, my God. Sit and listen to podcasts in a car, which I'm really good at.
Yeah, you're very good at that. You've put how many miles do you think you've driven in the last 5 years?
In the last 5 years, I'll just say probably over 100,000 miles easy.
Oh, that's way easy because that's only 20,000 miles a year.
Oh, then at least 200.
Yeah, I was going to say
253,000 miles.
Yeah, oh my God.
Closer to $1 million. I mean, if I got paid for every dollar.
Like honestly, do you realize that you could have possibly driven to the moon and back?
Yeah, but my car doesn't fly.
Yeah,
so it's really hard to get off the ground. I mean,
Elon Musk is going to build that road to the moon. You know, eventually it's going to be like
put tires and cameras on the X rocket or whatever there and call it a Tesla rocket.
Yeah, Tesla rocket. All right, everybody. Well,
safe travels, Eric.
I'm excited to finally leave California. It's bittersweet, though. We're sad and we're happy all at the same time.
And you're only saying that because you're here. And once you'll get over there, you'll say the same thing.
Thank God.
You're going to be like, it's bittersweet because we're really happy to be here, but we hate this.
I had to leave behind my surfing and acting career. And Jessica Alba, my neighbor, who, we were starting to get really close.
Yeah, me and her.
We shared the same bathing suit.
I started cleaning her pool for her.
I was Jessica Alba's pool boy.
All right, go to thisisfunner.com, find Eric's books that he wrote and produced movies for. Yes. And you can go and see all the podcasts and online content we have up there. It's Chris_Donovan's my Twitter handle. I'm
at Sinatra's Rat Pack. And please check out our another podcast I do called Listen to This. It's a historical music podcast with a theme to tie it all together. It is the #1 rated historical music podcast released by someone named Eric in the United States.
In this region. It's regional.
It's a regional thing. It's a regional podcast, everybody. Other than that, I want to thank you all for listening. We're going to continue the show, but it's obviously going to be done remotely. But I want to thank you all for your patronage so far, and please go rate and review.
Yeah, please rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, and if you want to talk shit in the comments, please do. We have fun that way.
Yeah, that's fine. It just sounds like our wives are doing it.
Yeah,
bye.
For sure.
Stars at night, a big and bright.